Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. In the morning, I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye, we all know that it's a lie. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. The game weeks are coming thick and fast. I cannot. It's so many. We've had weekend, then midweek, weekend, then we've got another midweek, and then we've got another weekend. It's 5 game weeks in the space of just 3 weekends, sort of 2 weeks. We've got 5 game weeks. It's a lot. It leaves you not very long to make your decisions, and I'm sure Simply FPL who's in the chat can agree with me that working a full-time job, then trying to produce content leaves me very little time to actually look at my team. Probably hence why I decided to roll my free transfer last week a little bit. But it does mean I've got 2 free transfers this week, and we'll get into what exactly I'm going to do with them. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you are new, don't follow me over on Twitter. Make sure you go and do so. There will be a link in the description to my Twitter page. We're on 18.3k followers, which is always just like mesmerizing. So make sure to go and check me out if you don't already. But yeah, let's get straight into it. In terms of my game week score for game week 21, I got 57 points, which was a very, very small red arrow. So I went from 28k down to 31k. Pretty minimal movement. If I'd had so as you can see, I actually only put out 10 players because I didn't have enough defenders. Mitchell, Chilwell and Cancelo all missed out. So yeah, basically if I'd have put out even that last player had got 2, if Chilwell or Mitchell had started, or Cancelo, if any of them had started, I would have got a green arrow basically, because they all kept clean sheets, which is the most infuriating part. All 3 of those defenders who didn't play, their teams kept clean sheets and they'd all played the game before. So it was very unfortunate they all missed out. Very unfortunate, but what can you do, eh? Let's get into it. If you guys are watching, say hello and we will do our usual shout outs as we do at the start of every show. So who have we got here? We've got Jojo, Henry, Words with Friends. I feel like you're new. Welcome if you are. If not, I do apologise. Mark, Gokul, JD, Teddy, Cooper, Killbomb, Simply FPL, Paper, Akash, Teddy, Sarah, Michael, it's Benji, Davala, Quarry, Giant, Evening Quarry, how you doing? Akash, London Bone, Hamza, we have Craigo, Paul, King, Sana, wow, Dominic, Matty, Giant, Multi, Navneet, Ginty. There seem to be a lot of new faces in here this evening. That is a lot of names. Welcome. Good to see quite so many of you in here already. But yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Start firing your questions away. In terms of my transfers next week, so Chilwell is the first one that kind of has to go for me. Chilwell is the standout option for who I'm going to have to get rid of. Chilwell out, and I think it's either Stones or Diaz that is going to come in. The performance of Laporte at the weekend makes me worry about Laporte makes me worry about going Stones. So do I put in the extra 0.8 million and go up to Diaz? I haven't decided on that. So yeah, I'm going to have to decide on whether I go Stones or whether I go Diaz, but it will be one of them coming in for Chilwell. I don't think Stones is a worry. I think their partnership is still great. But you can't, we know how good Laporte has been in the past for them. Is he just going to get no minutes? And if he does come into the side, it will be at the expense of Stones. So I need to decide whether that 0.8 million is worth saving, or I just play it safe and go with Ruben Diaz in my team. But that's one transfer that I'm going to make, and at least me 6.1 million in the bank. I know Bamford and Saka are both likely to be fine, but is it then worth me doing another transfer, using my second free transfer, just to make sure I've got enough starting attackers in case one of the two of them miss out? But that is currently my thinking. If you guys did watch my Gameweek22 team preview video, it's all discussed there. It dropped this morning. Go and watch it after if you haven't already. But let's get into a few of your questions. There are already 80 of you guys in here. So if you guys could just drop a like on the stream as we're starting, get it shared out a little bit, that'd be really appreciated. So just before we get started, if you could do that, it would be great. Thoughts on Alonso? I don't think the only Chelsea defender that I would be touching with a barge pole at the moment is Thiago Silva, but he's quite expensive for the returns he's going to get you. So the other one is Rudiger. I probably wouldn't go any near any of the other ones. I imagine there will be a lot of rotation between those other players in at left back and at right back. I think there'll be rotation there. So the only one I'd really go with and look at is Rudiger. Sorry, yeah, simply I have to ask, who do I think will get more points over the next four, Rashford or Salah? Man U have just not looked good, and I think Liverpool are finding their mojo a little bit. The fixtures definitely favour Rashford, but I would make that transfer. I would, even if it's for a slight defensive move. I would definitely be making that transfer. Yeah, I would probably do it. I know there's that explosivity, but Man U have looked off it. I really think this change in system, where they've brought Pogba into the starting lineup, has hindered them a lot. I really don't think it's working for them. It's improved their defensive solidity, great, but their attacking threat is not the same since they've changed system. It's literally coincided exactly the same time. So until they switch back, I wouldn't want to be having too much in that. I'm happy with Fernandes, but I wouldn't want to double up. Bench Son, Grealish or Antonio. That, I can't believe that's even a question. I mean, if I had to bench one, I'm not benching Son. I know there's a lot of talk about Son, but you've got to keep playing him. That Mourinho, Chelsea, Spurs is such a Mourinho type game. Son will want to play on the counter. Chelsea will want to keep the ball, as they seem to do under Tuchel. So I imagine there'll be counter-attack. So Son definitely plays. I'd probably bench Antonio but it's a very tight call between those last two. Did Bielsa say anything about Rafinha? Yeah, him and Rafinha and Bamford are more likely to play than Rodrigo. Rodrigo is unlikely to feature. We're probably going to see the other two play, but if you own Rodrigo, it's probably a sell. Update on Mane. Haven't heard anything. I think is Klopp's press conference. Was it today or is it tomorrow? Let me just check when his press conference was. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow, so we'll get an update on that then. Yeah, his press conference was not today, so we'll get an update on Mane tomorrow. Salah captain. Yeah, for me, Salah is my captain. Drop in the comments who you guys are going to captain in game week 22. I forget what game week it is, but yeah, let me know. I'm on Salah. I don't see it being anyone else just because his ownership will be so high. So yeah, I would sell Rafinha for Grealish if it's for a free. Yeah, Salah, Bruno, interesting. Eze or Barkley. If you're going to bring one in, Eze. I still don't fancy Barkley to play every game. Salah captain, Son captain. That's a bold move given how bad Spurs were midweek. What do I think about Maddison? I think he's a really good pick. If you guys follow me on Twitter, let me see if I can find my differential article that I wrote earlier. It should be here somewhere. I talk about Maddison and I talk about Harvey Barnes as one of my differentials. And Harvey Barnes stands out as being a better pick than Maddison. Maddison is being outperformed by Barnes, both in terms of actual returns and expected points. So I definitely expect Barnes to continue the returns, whereas I can see there being a little bit of regression for Maddison. So I'd definitely be buying Barnes. He's also cheaper than Maddison, so I don't really see any reason to pick Maddison over going Harvey Barnes. I will leave that up for you, but if you are interested, it is completely free to read. There's a link on my Twitter to it, and I'll put another one out after this stream probably. Do I think Vardy's a good choice when he's back? Vardy will always be a good choice, never a great choice and never a bad choice. He'll probably just tick along. I don't love him. I think there's better options at a lower price point than Jamie Vardy. Here's another interesting one. Ramsdale or Martinez. So let's go just pull up this so we can have a look at the fixtures. Ramsdale or Martinez. I'd probably start Ramsdale, to be honest. I would honestly go Ramsdale out of the two of them. Grealish captain, fair enough. He's looked really good. I just can't look past Salah. I don't think Salah, Akash, he's a bit of a rotation risk, but especially if Mane is out, they're not going to rest Salah. And I still expect him to want to keep going with Salah to get this form up that we've seen in recent weeks. He had a few over the Christmas period. He wasn't himself. I think Klopp will want to keep him on, keep him playing to get the form up to where we've seen it. Chilwell replacements. If you don't have double City defence, I think it's the best place to go. James Justin's still a good pick. Rudiger potentially as well. Best cheap defenders. So Rudiger definitely looks like a good one at the moment. We'll have a look at the fixture ticker on Fantasy Football Hub. Just have a look at who stands out for defensive fixtures for the foreseeable future. Liverpool potentially, but not cheap. Sheffield United, West Brom. Matt Target, another great one. Aston Villa. If you don't have Martinez in goal and you don't want to make a goalkeeper transfer, then having Matt Target in your team is a really good option. He's very affordable and he puts a lot of balls into the box. Luke Shaw, a good option. So another one in my differential article. In defence, we've got Wan-Bissaka. Now, I think Luke Shaw is a great defensive differential if we knew he was going to play every week. He's going to probably start 70% of matches. It's just whether you can afford to have that. He could get, the thing is with a player like that is that they could get rested in the easy games because they want to save their best left back in Shaw for the harder games, which from an FPL point of view is actually not what you want at all. So which would put me off him. Watkins or Bamford. I know it's so funny how an FPL manager we change so quickly. About 4 days ago before the game week started, I almost sold Bamford. But I decided to run my free transfer, and I think a lot of you guys will have considered or actually sold Bamford. And then he scores 15 points, and now he looks like one of the most essential forwards in the game. It's very quick how things change, and it is worth remembering what a player can do until things actually start to go properly wrong. Remember that. What am I doing with Saka? At the moment, I'm holding. I still really like him as an option. Arsenal, if you look at Arsenal's results in the past weeks, they failed to score in game week 21. Saka didn't play. And they failed to score in game week 18. Saka didn't return, right? Whenever Saka return, whenever Arsenal score a goal, Saka returns, right? So I think he's a great option. Their fixtures coming up are pretty mixed, if I'm honest. They got that game, 24 Leeds is definitely something I like. 27 Burnley. It's not great, but Saka can definitely do it against anyone. So Martinez or Johnson. So this is an interesting one. I'd still probably go Johnson. I reckon that's got a high chance of finishing 0-0 that first game. So I'd probably go Johnson in there. Who should I bring in for Chilwell, given I've got Cancelo and Stones? So if you don't have a Villa defender, is a good option. Rudiger is a good option. James Justin is still a good option. My overall rank is 31k, as it says at the top of the screen. Who should I get for Che Adams? Got Antonio and Bamford. Antonio, Bamford, Watkins, for me, are the 3 cheap forwards that you want to own. Bench Antonio or Bamford. That's really tough. I'd potentially... I just fancy that Aston Villa defence a bit more, so I'd have to say Antonio, but the thought of benching Antonio is not a good one. It's not a good one at all. Thoughts on Marcus Alonso? Again, Chilwell will play some games. It's not like Chilwell's never going to play again, so I don't want to go near Alonso. Trent in... As a Robertson owner, I can't advise going near Liverpool's defence. They don't keep enough clean sheets. They concede stupid, sloppy goals at the end of games, and it is the most infuriating thing. That goal they conceded to West Ham at the end of the game moved me from a green arrow into red arrow for that game week. It's so infuriating, these goals. So I can't advise going for Trent, especially given some of the other options. Captain Zaha, again, I think he's a good option, but I think he's going to be a differential on his own because everyone's going to captain Salah. I would just follow the crowd this week because if you go wrong, I know if you go right, it will pay off big time, but I would just go with Salah this week if you've got him. You still have Kane. What should you do? So he's probably going to be back game week 24, so you're probably going to have 2 game weeks more without him. It depends how much you've got on your bench, how much money you've got tied up in him. I still would probably sell, especially given Spurs' performance, and the game he's meant to be back for is Man City. So you probably don't mind not having him for that. So that's 3 game weeks. I haven't seen any good transfers on deadline day. I have not. I don't think there's been very much. I know Liverpool are in for a couple of centre-backs, but is it worth getting Salah in for a hit? It depends who you're selling, but I'd probably advise yes, given the ownership this week. Cavani in for Kane. We don't know Cavani's going to play every week. That is a big risk as well. There are better, cheaper options for me. Captain Fernandes over Salah, maybe. Not for me. Not given Fernandes' recent FPL form. No. As I was saying, Pogba in that starting lineup has a negative impact on Fernandes. So, yeah, I would sway away from that. Son to Salah, yeah. If you've got the money in, it's free, definitely. Zaha has amazing games, he does, but we know what Zaha's been like before. We've all been tempted by Zaha, so... Rudiger or Holding. The upcoming fixtures are much better for Chelsea than they are for Arsenal. Arsenal have kept 5 clean sheets in 7 games or something like that. But I'd probably go Rudiger just to try and... The goal threat from Rudiger is much higher than that of Rob Holding. Sell Justin for Shaw. No, as I said, I worry about Shaw's minutes, especially when there's a lot of cup games, European games, things like that, which will start in not too long. Bench Son or Harvey Barnes. There are players in your starting lineup who are better to bench than Son and Harvey Barnes, but I cannot stand that you think those are the worst 2. Bruno for Salah for free transfer. That's a tough one. I still want to own Bruno long term, so I probably wouldn't do that. But I would want Salah in. Try and find another way, even if it's for a -4. I would do it if it's for free and it's your only way to get him in. But hold Chilwell, no. Time to sell Chilwell. The guy number 1 is 50 points. I know. How on earth? Bench Antonio or Bamford. As I've said, I'd probably go Antonio, but I hate that. I hate the thought of that. When should you wildcard? Depends what other chips you've got left. If you've got no free hit, then you'll probably need to bench in game week 30, wildcard in game week 30. Saka or Son. To start this week, probably Saka. No, realistically, you can't leave Son on the bench, can you? No, you've got to start Son. I can't advise not leaving Son on the bench. Who are you supposed to bench then? DCL? Antonio, Bamford, Son, Barnes. Not Son and not Barnes. I can tell you for sure, Barnes is not benching this week, and nor is Son. Pick someone else, Antonio or Bamford. Replacements for Chilwell, we've been through them. We'll go through them again in a bit, but Rafinha replacements, Grealish, Zaha, Harvey Barnes, probably the top three. Yeah, the guy first is on fire. Man U players other than Bruno, I wouldn't go near them, to be honest, given their form. I would not go near them, given their recent form. McCarthy to Martinez for a transfer for free. Yeah, you can do that for free. It's, you know, I don't love goalkeeper transfers, but yeah. Zaha has amazing 7 games. He does indeed. There are a great run of fixtures for Palace. Play 3 out of Bamford, Antonio. Oh, you've got to bench 2 of them. Why have you got to bench 2 of them? Because you're playing 4 at the back. No, play 3 at the back. Bench 1 of them. How many blanks in Gameweek 29? So we don't know that yet. We've got to wait for the cup matches will take place in a week's time to start knowing who will blank in Gameweek 29. But just because they may go through in the cup doesn't necessarily mean they blank. So make sure you're following Ben Krellin on Twitter to help us all out with that. Is Rafinha out long term? Probably not long term, but probably not going to play midweek and is unlikely then to play at the weekend as well. Get rid of Chilwell. Yeah. My thoughts on Maddison, not as good as Harvey Barnes. Bench Lacazette or Watkins or DCL. Probably Lacazette. Bring DCL for Watkins. No, I wouldn't be doing that. I just don't get the love for Everton assets. I didn't bring them in. I just didn't see the appeal at all. Would I bench Bamford, Antonio, Son, DCL, Gundogan? Probably Bamford. I know he's just come off a 15-point haul, but out of that, you guys have got such stacked benches. It makes it so hard. You've got to choose one of them to bench every single week. Right, just before we get into the next round of questions, let me hide this and pull up our league. For any of you guys who aren't in our monthly league, the code is at the top of the screen. It's the same for every month, but there is a £5 winner for every month. So you have to be subscribed if you want to join. So make sure you go and subscribe, and there is the code at the top. Please like the stream just while I'm picking this up as well. Yeah, go and like the stream as well. 170 of you in here and only 51 likes. But yeah, £5 winner every month. Subscriber only. There we go. Got it up. But yeah, like the stream, guys, if you could. So we actually had joint winners in January. So the January winners were Albert, Manan, Taneja, and Amir. If you guys are in the chat, let me know. Or please, if you are in the chat, message me over on Twitter. If there are people spamming query, please feel free to time them out, or simply, if they're doing it excessively, not just a little bit. But yeah, congratulations to Alba FC and Amir. If you guys want to drop me a message over on Twitter to claim your £5 vouchers, I suppose I'm going to have to pay out twice. If one of you doesn't claim it, then I will have to. I won't give it to a third place, but I'll have to pay out twice if you both want to claim it. So yeah, definitely drop me a message if that's either of you. But congratulations for winning January. Code is at the top, of course, and subscribers only, as I have said. Cool. Just give a £5 to everyone in the league. Makes it easier. No thanks. No thanks. Right, let's pick my team back up. Replacements for Rafinha. So let's go on the transfer page and let's go midfielders. Let's rank it on. Where's form? There we go. Pereira, I don't love. Gundogan, if you don't have him, is still a great pick. I prefer Barnes over Maddison, if I'm honest. Saka is still a good option if we know he's fit. If you want to go Leeds, Harrison is still a good option. I do like him, but Grealish is probably a better option in there. And then Zaha is the one that doesn't rank high on form, but I would definitely consider. There's talk about Hudson-Odoi as well. I want to see a bit more from him before I go diving in on him. I do like him, but yeah. What are your transfers this week? So at the moment, it's Chilwell out. I have 2 free transfers. It will probably be a Manchester City defender coming in his place. It's just whether I decide to go with Diaz or I go with Stones. So yeah, and then whether I use the second one. Dan is saying Rafinha is okay. We've had confirmed that he's potentially not from Bielsa's press conference today. Which 3 City defenders would I recommend? So 2 defenders in the midfield. They're probably Gundogan. I still like him. Rudiger or Cresswell to start this week. If it's to start this week, Cresswell definitely. If it's to bring one in, that's tough. I'd probably still bring Cresswell in. You can only pick 2 of Wilson, Antonio, Watkins. Who do I pick? I would long term. I still don't back Wilson. Still don't back him. I think there'll be better options than Wilson going forward. DCL or Sonny. I don't if that's one to bench. That's really tough. Potentially bench Son there, but I don't like that at all. Who would I start this week? Justin or Target? Justin definitely. Zaha or Grealish? Grealish is a much safer pick for me. I'm not a huge fan of Zaha. I don't like the way Palace play. I know he's the talisman, but I don't think they score enough. I have to bench one. That's really tough. You guys don't need such strong benches. Like, you're going to be faced with this every single week. Potentially bench Calvert-Lewin in that situation. I still don't think they're that great. Son out for Salah. Yeah, if it's for free. Is Reece James finished? Yeah, if you own him, it's very much time to sell. Mahrez captain? No, definitely not. Would I start Martinez or Johnson? I would start Johnston this game week. Bench is too strong, but I don't know what to do. You got to pick one that you don't want, and just decide with it. Should I bench boost Paulo, Fabinho? Thank you very much for subscribing. As always, new subscribers, depending on your settings, which YouTube seem to have changed for everyone, so no one's notifications come up, but they seem to be working a bit more recently. Thank you very much for subscribing. Of course, anyone new, please make sure to subscribe. We are just 25 subscribers away from 3,000, so that is, I'm sure there will be 25 of you guys watching who are not subscribed. So if that is you, please make sure to subscribe and let's hit that 3,000 by the end of the stream. Bench one of Antonio, DCL, Bamford, Maddison. I hate these questions. DCL. I'm going to pick DCL in them all. Replacement for Walker Peters. If you can get to Rudiger, I like him. Rob Holding, I like. Depends how much money you've got. If you can go up to James Justin, I still like him as an option. Wan-Bissaka for Cresswell. I wouldn't be making that transfer, no. Captain Barnes or Fernandez. Barnes for me. Zaha and Bamford for Son and DCL. Yeah, I probably would do that. Yeah, Salah and Cancelo, pretty much no one else in terms of captaincy, so I wouldn't be going anywhere else. Saka or Zaha. So to get in Zaha, do I watch cricket? I do. England internationally, not much club cricket. Captain Cancelo every week, easy life. Now, I did see stats that Burnley, every time they play City, it's their right wing and their centre mids that perform very well. And with the position that Cancelo plays in, it could be a good captaincy option on him. But I can't see past Salah, especially if Mane is still injured, because he performs so well when Mane is out. Should I be taking out Kane if I have him in Soho 4? Yeah. Antonio, Bamford, Watkins, still my top 3 strikers. Don't do this, you can't ride that wave again. What I think of Hudson-Odoi in the next 3 weeks, I want to see a bit more. He is looking good, but I just haven't seen the attacking returns, like in the box. He puts in a lot of crosses, but I want to see a bit more from him before I go there. think there's better on-form options in terms of FPL form than him at the moment. Jota is expected to be back this week, according to FPL, going under the radar. I haven't heard anything of it from press conferences. I know he's sort of all pictures of it. I want to see him be back fit first. I think he could be a great pick. And when he comes back, everyone going Grealish, everyone going Maddison, Barnes is going to think, maybe it's time to get Diego Jota back in because he was so good before he got injured. Yeah, he's not back this week. I know FPL, but I wouldn't trust those dates on the official site. Bench Antonio, DCL or Bamford. DCL, continue. Werner to DCL or save transfer. Save transfer. I wouldn't be going to DCL ever. No. Keep or sell Chilwell. Sell. Bench Dallas or Kufal. Bench Kufal. That attacking threat from Dallas. Without Rodrigo, he could be playing in that cam position again, which would be massive for him. So is Ings a good transfer for Gameweek 23? No, Southampton don't score nearly as many goals as they need to for him to be an option. So I'd wait and see on Ings. Which would I play out of Dallas, Kufal and Cresswell? I'd definitely bench Kufal. I'd probably play Dallas. He's again his attacking threat. I'm a Chelsea fan for those asking. Bench Gundogan or Antonio. Like what? What type of benching headache is that? You have to bench Gundogan or Antonio. They could both easily haul this week, and I have to pick between one of them. It's so difficult. I'd probably bench Gundogan, but no, I'd probably bench Antonio, but it's complete 50-50. Bench Gundogan or Antonio. Like, your guys' benches, I'd probably bench Antonio, but like benching, you're like asking me, do I bench Salah or Fernandez? That's how good you're strong. Literally, you've got Antonio sat on your bench. Have you seen how good he's been in recent weeks? Unbelievable that you guys have that money on your bench. I don't have that problem. It's great. I have the little bench gem known as Brewster. So I don't have a benching headache every week. I actually have the opposite problem. I need to make sure I've got enough players playing. But yeah, Brewster sits nicely on my bench. Sits there, gets me 1 point every week because he can't seem to score a single goal ever. So he just sits last on my bench. I just play my other 7 attackers, play a 3-5-2 every week. Simple as that. Simple as that. Don't have any of these benching headaches that you guys are facing. My captain this week will be Salah. Cancelo vice captain, but Salah captain for this week. Why is DCL no longer scoring? Well, it was always going to happen at some point. Everton don't seem that much on form. I expect him to come back. You know, he's not just going to suddenly drop off the face of the earth, if I'm honest, but it was unlikely to ever keep up the form that we saw at the beginning of the season. But leave Gundogan or Antonio and bench Son. I can't answer these benching questions. Maddison or Son for Salah? I'd sell Son before I sell Maddison. So Wan-Bissaka over Shaw for Mitchell. Yeah, just because of that starting every week. Hiya, Adil, welcome. I think we're about 5 subscribers away from 3,000. So, yeah. We are also just 17 likes away from 100 likes, and there are 225 of you in here. Please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. So if we could just hit 100 likes right now, just 15 more of you would be great. Thank you for subscribing. Priority signing Martinez or Grealish. It depends who you've got in goal. I imagine Grealish is a bigger priority. If I'm honest. What do you know about double game weeks coming up? 26, like to be a big double game week. Then we're probably going to get double game weeks in maybe 24 for Man City and one other team, whoever they play against. And game week 27, we might get another one from Man City as well, because they've got a lot more fixtures to be that have been postponed to be rescheduled. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, Magnus. Appreciate it. Robertson or Cresswell to bring in. Do not bring in Robertson. I'm telling you, I've owned Robertson for a good 5-10 weeks now, and it has not been this. No, don't unsubscribe because you want to be number 3000. No. Play Johnson or Martinez. Martinez. Kufal or Dyer to start. You've got Fabianski in goal, then Dyer. Start Kufal or Soucek. Soucek for me because I do expect Aston Villa to score. Salah in for Saka. Yeah, if you've got the money. No, I don't think Salah will be rested. I still don't. Is it time to replace Fernandes with City midfielder? If you don't have... No, actually I don't. Still no. Zaha, Maddison or Barnes. Barnes, Zaha or Watkins. If it's to play one this week, Zaha. Thoughts on Zaha? Right. I do like Zaha as an option, but we just know that in one of these upcoming games, Palace, as we know them, will turn up, right? And they will score. They won't score. They'll look dreadful, and Zaha will get booked. You know they've got that performance in them in the upcoming game weeks, so you have to be able to expect that in the coming weeks. So I do like him. I do prefer the likes of Barnes, particularly, and Grealish over Zaha, just because of that. But yeah, 100 likes. Thank you very much. The classic Zaha booking. I know he's such a hothead. I can't pick him. You're on a wild card. Any good differential options? If only someone wrote a completely free differential article, which is free to read, that you could go and check out on Fantasy Football Hub. Link is on my page. I retweeted it earlier. I'll put another tweet out. You can also read the ones from last week and the week before because they're 5 game weeks long. So they're for the next 5 game weeks. So definitely check it out. Rudiger is in there, one of them. Molpai is the striker I've backed. Harvey Barnes I would definitely have if you're on a wild card. Start Kufal, Mitchell or Rob Holding. So I would start Mitchell if he was going to play. Mitchell, if he's going to play, he's probably not going to come off the bench, so I'd start him. Martinez or McCarthy, I would start Martinez. Definitely Martinez. Brilliant stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, everyone, for the good feedback. I appreciate it. Players to target for the upcoming game weeks. Harvey Barnes, if you don't have Leicester, we can have a look again, the fixture ticker in terms of attack. Palace, Spurs still do. They've got nice fixtures, especially there. They'll have a good double game week. I wouldn't be buying into them yet. Wolves, I wouldn't be buying. Sheffield United. Villa, I'd make sure you've got an attacking player from Villa. And probably make sure you've got an attacking player from West Ham as well. Otherwise, the actual teams that you want attackers from don't have particularly good fixtures in the upcoming weeks, which is why it will be interesting to see what comes out on top, whether it's form versus fixtures. Do the players like Zaha perform better ranked? Will Zaha, who's ranked first, outperform Harvey Barnes, who's ranked second bottom in terms of attacking fixtures? So it's a bit of a toss-up. How do I like my steak cooked? Medium rare, depending on where I am. Who wins in a fight? Lukaku. I'd actually back Lukaku to beat Ibra in a fight. Foden to Gundogan worth a transfer. I can't remember who started. I probably would. Did Foden start? If Foden started the last game, then I'd do it. If he didn't, then I wouldn't. What is Fantasy Football Hub? So there is basically it's an article it's a website which has loads of data about players and about teams. So things like shots. You can also filter to defensive stats and everything like that. Fixture tickers, predictions. You can also do this really cool player comparison tool, as well as articles written by some of the best FPL managers. So I definitely go and check that out. So for example, we can put Harvey Barnes in, and then James Maddison. It costs from a minimum of £1.70 a month. So if you use the link in the description, it'll give you 15% off, and it's only £1.70 a month. So yeah, definitely worth signing up to. That's where I get a lot of my stats from. Bench Dean or Dallas? I'd probably bench That's really tough. I'd probably bench Dean. I just don't buy into the Everton thing at the moment. What's my chip strategy? So at the moment, it's a bench boost in game week 26. That is a current one. Best free tools on Fantasy Football Hub. The only thing that's free are some of the articles, like the one I write, is free to read, but the tools themselves are not. Who to captain this game week? So it is Salah for me. Salah is the big captaincy option. Cancelo also a good pick. I wouldn't look outside those two if I were you. If you don't have Salah, then Cancelo. But I haven't used any chips. Haven't used any of them. I've got them all left, which is good. Hopefully I get a bit of a boost from some of those. But yeah, bench Son or Souček. Would I rather win FPL or see Chelsea win the league this season? See Chelsea win the league. I mean, that's such a hard question. Like, it is Chelsea win the league, but chances are I'd never win FPL again, and I'll probably never win it until I took you up on that offer. But I would hope that I would see Chelsea win the league again. Barnes, Grealish or Zaha? Harvey Barnes, still. Mane replacement if he's out. Salah, if you don't have him. If you've already got him, then it's probably down to someone the likes of Harvey Barnes. Do I think Mason Mount? No, I don't think he's a good option, especially with the rotation that we'll see. He's looked really good and I love him, but he's not an FPL option. Kufal or Luke Shaw? So my team for the upcoming week, you should watch my video that I dropped this morning. Go and check it out after this stream. But this is my team for this weekend. Currently, I've got 2 free transfers in the bank. But yeah, haven't decided what I'd do. Chilwell out to a City defender is pretty nailed on for me. And then what I do with the other one, if I use it, I don't quite know. How much do I think Messi will be if he went to City? 13, probably. 13.5 maybe. I'm just thinking, is he that much, in terms of FPL, is he going to be that much more than Salah? I think if Salah's 12, Salah started at 12, would he be up at 12.5? Yeah, 12.5. I think probably 13. I think they'd whack a high price on him to try and influence the game, because they'd know that most of us would go in and pick him just because it's Salah. So they'd probably bump it up by $500,000 more than it probably needs to be, so that it just takes money out of the game elsewhere, so you've got less money to go around. Will Werner start this game week? If you've got him, it's time to sell him. Should I transfer out Watkins for Bamford? Not this week, no. How many points do I have? 1,333 points. Yeah, I think they'd make him a lot just to make it a bit more fun, because if they put him at like 12.5, he'll be owned by like 100%. So, yeah. Why do I have Kufal last on my bench? Got to trust Brewster at home to Sheffield United at some point. Mitchell with Newcastle. It's a tough one. I haven't really fiddled about with it that much. It's just I do expect Villa to score, basically. I expect there to be goals in that game. So, should I bring in Arnold for Chilwell? I don't think the Liverpool defenders are worth it at the moment. Good evening, Nuclear. How are we doing? Watching the Royal Rumble. Fair enough. What does Game Week 1 rank mean? So Game Week 1 ranks you... Game Week 1 means it only includes players who started in Game Week 1. So you'll tell that your Game Week 1 rank is slightly higher than your overall rank. So what it actually means is there are people who didn't play Game Week 1 who are beating me. So if I look at my ranks and look at Game Week 1, which is that, and there's a gap of about 25, that means there are 25 managers who started after Game Week 1, so they're a whole game week behind me and are ahead of me. I've got more points than me. Does that make sense? So Game Week 1 are people who only started Game Week from the beginning of the season, whereas overall includes everyone, which is quite depressing. But yeah, Chelsea supporter. Will Bamford play? I don't see any. I think he will. Yeah, as Nuclear said, hit the like on the stream. It won't cause you any physical pain. It's a free and completely easy way for you to help and support. Let's see if we've hit 3,000 by now. Come on. 3,000. We have 3,009 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you all very much for subscribing. If that is you that's added to that today, thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's been a very quick sort of month or so. So we've hit about 1,000 subscribers in December and then in January as well. So appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Oh, very good to see that. Thank you. Is Sterling not worth captaining? I can't see past the form of Salah. Sterling will be a differential on his own, so I'd still captain Salah. Thank you to Hin for subscribing. Thank you RT. Alonso for Chilwell. No, you're gonna be faced with the same rotation problem if you do it. 100k before the season ends. I wish. But thanks a lot. Cheers, Penguin. Gundogan to Grealish after this week. No, I still. Why are you selling Gundogan? Just because he had one blank? No. Find someone else. Best Chelsea front three, in my opinion. Well, it depends what formation. If we're playing Hudson-Odoi at wing back, so he doesn't count, I still want to see Werner play. I want Mount in there, and I'd probably then add Pulisic as well, or we play Tammy Abraham and it changes formation. So it depends what system we're playing. Salah for Saka. Salah, definitely. Dallas or Souček or Justin. Pick one to bench. Bench Souček. Bench Son or Souček. You're not going to start. Like, realistically, you're not starting Souček over Son. Player priced at 5.4 million. You are not playing over Son, who's priced practically double it. It's just not going to happen. Should I bring in Salah for Souček or Maddison? Souček. So a lot of you guys asking about Chelsea defenders. So those looking at Chelsea defenders, it pretty much for me is Thiago Silva and Rudiger, the only two that I'd go near. But Rudiger is much cheaper, so it's the only Chelsea defender I'd go through. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I don't like seeing him play, and I don't think he's in our best team, but seems to be playing. So Rudiger, he's got a goal threat as well. Bamford in or roll and play Souček. Bamford if it's for free, only if it's for free. Fernandes or Sterling in terms of what to buy, to captain Sterling, to buy Fernandes. Which Leicester defender should I buy? Since you're Pereira back, I'd still go James Justin. I don't see him losing this place. Gundo to Mahrez, nope. I would not be advising you doing Gundogan to Riyad Mahrez. What time is it? We've got time. This is the best way to end a Monday evening. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, Jack. You have Fernandes. Should I keep or sell? Keep. Is such a luxury transfer. Fernandes is owned so highly that I wouldn't do it. There's no need to sell him. Mitchell to Rudiger, yeah, if you've got the money for it, if you've got a free transfer to use, yeah, definitely. Fofana, Digne, who to start? Digne because the attacking threat. To bench Justin, DCL, Stones. If you can only bench one, I'd bench Foden, to be honest. Great stream, keep up the good work. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it. Marcus Alonso can make a difference. No, he's not going to start every game. Right, let's try and find some questions. Captain Salah or Sterling? Captain Salah. Captaincy on Barnes or Zaha? Barnes. Still Barnes for me. Still prefer him as an option. Barnes or Gundogan for captaincy. I need to do my captaincy ranking, don't I? Let me go and get my Microsoft Paint up as I do when I have the same question again and again. So let me just pull it up and I will yeah. Oh, let me just hide my display. and I will do my captaincy ranking right now for you guys. So, text is black. So, Salah for me, number 1. Let me know if you change this order at all, but this is what I'm going with. Start DCL or Souček. DCL. Let me just pull up the fixtures. I'm just trying to think who's highly owned to make sure you've all got one of them. I'd still probably go... I'd probably add in another probably City defender. I don't know if there's going to be that. Nah, probably Fernandes gets in there at number 5. Probably my top. Will Stones play? Yeah, I expect him to come back in. I don't see any reason why he won't. So yeah, I don't see any reason why he will not come back in. Cool, so that's that. Grealish, surely. Just West Ham are good defensively. I just don't see it. Will Stones play? Yeah, I expect him to play. I want to be gutsy, so I'll captain Cancelo. Fair enough. Buy Gundogan or Barnes. Barnes for me. Probably a better option, but value-wise, Gundogan's great. We need risky captains. Let make it hard. If you're 7,000, you don't need to go risky at all. Do I know Let's Talk FPL game week 7, 6, 7, 9? I do know Let's Talk FPL. Andy, he's a very good YouTuber. Absolutely. Love his stuff. DCL to Watkins, Antonio, worth it? No. Unless if you're free, no, I probably wouldn't either looking at the fixture this week. Best defensive options for how much? Still double City defense, still great. Cancelo, Diaz. Stones, all good options. James Justin, still good. Rob Holding's still good. Rudiger, still good. Matt Target. Who would I transfer Mount out for? If you don't have Barnes, then great. Grealish, again, another good one. Gundogan, another one. Arsenal defence, if you're going there. Rob Holding. Loves a bonus point, Rob Holding. Thank you, Dopes. Appreciate it. So let's go back to... Flick that back on. Risk of Salah not starting. I don't know where this has come from. I don't really. I think I'm just going to captain him anyway. How bad is Saka injury? So he's been pictured in training today. So a decision hasn't been made on whether he'll be fit and available. But yeah, he should be back playing. Gundogan, not a captaincy option, especially I feel like there is rotation issue with Gundogan this week. I wouldn't bench him, but I feel like it could happen. Keep Kane. It depends who you've got coming off your bench. Captain Lingard. I'll be interested to see when he gets his first start how he does, but would I sell Kane? Depends who you've got on your bench again. If you've got players on your bench, I'd probably sell. I'd probably sell Kane because he's probably going to be out for the next 2 game weeks, and then the next one after that is City, so that's 3 game weeks of either not good. What's my highest ever rank? 11,000. So yeah, 11k overall, and then 15k my second highest. Can I join my league? Absolutely not. It's for subscribers only, but it goes continued throughout the season. Every month there's a new £5 winner. Whoever scored the most points that month. So it doesn't matter if you had an awful start to the season, it restarts every month. It's the same league, it's the same code. I just filter out the points scored before. So yeah, if you want to join it, league code's at the top, but of course you have to be subscribing if you want to be in it. Cool. Bamford or Wilson? Bamford. Should I play Che Adams or Saka? Saka for me. Am I surprising how quickly your channel is growing? Yeah, I am. I'm putting like a lot of time into it. Like I woke up at 7 o'clock to record today's video before work. So little things like that. I am glad the time's paying off, because if it wasn't, then I suppose, getting up at an hour early to make sure you can record and edit a video and get it uploaded then doesn't make it worth it. But I really appreciate the support. Is Bamford fit? I do expect him to. £5 thing. So if you go on any of your leagues, for example, so if I pull it up, you can filter to that particular month. So just January or just December. So it takes out the rest of the year, and each month, whoever comes top of my league in that month will win a £5 voucher to whatever they want. So this month, it was a combination of Manan and Amir. So well done to both of you guys. If you want to drop me a message on Twitter, Amir coming out of nowhere with their big 80-point haul. These two getting very close, but yeah. Buy Sterling or Zaha or Grealish. Buy Sterling, Zaha or Grealish. I wouldn't be buying Sterling. I'd buy Grealish. Saka, Zaha or Saka. Probably Zaha. Already subscribed and hit the ring long time, 3 weeks ago. I appreciate it. Grealish to all of these. Should you pick McGoldrick or Soucek? Maybe McGoldrick. I do like Didsey. I think he could offer something for them that game. Do I think any January signings are good? No, not that I've seen yet. Not that I can think of. Be interesting to see if any of the new Liverpool signings get a place in the starting lineup long term. But yeah. Which Chelsea defenders are worth getting in teams? Just Rudiger really. Saka or Grealish. Will Saka even start? Grealish on Maddison, captain option. If you don't have anyone above him, I don't know who's in your team, but if I have to pick between one of them, I'd probably go Grealish. When would I triple captain? I'm waiting for a double game week. Kane out, Wilson or DCL in. I probably wouldn't. I'd go Antonio, Bamford, Watkins, the top three forwards for me. It's time to sell Robertson of Liverpool. Then yeah, it is for me. I'm selling him. Which thank you for my beautiful content. So thank you, Omar. Appreciate it. Start Richarlison or Antonio this game week. And Antonio. Does Stones start? Yeah, I expect him to. Right, it's almost 7 o'clock, so I will just do my last few questions. Now, just before you guys head off, if you are going to head off, thank you for joining. Make sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. As always, completely free, but helps me out a lot. And hit that like button on this stream as well. Thanks, Greg, for subscribing. If you guys do hit that subscribe button, let me know in the chat, and I will be happy to say thank you. I need 9 likes for 150 likes, so please hit that before you guys head off. DCL or Watkins? Bring in Watkins. Bro, you got 39 points, half my team's in play. I know how it feels. Will Diaz start? There's a risk around Diaz this week. I still expect him to. And it's just for forward. You have Antonio and Watkins. Bamford is the one I'd add to that. Do I need a starting defender on the bench in case Stones is bench? I expect Stones to start. I absolutely do. Like issues in your streams. Great to see the progression. Yeah, it was a storm. Decided to throw my Wi-Fi all off, but look where we've come from that. How is Marcus Alonso? What a goal! I know. I don't really love him, to be honest, but yeah, that's all we're gonna have time for, guys. If I haven't answered your question, as always, leave them on the comments to my latest video, my Gameweek22 team reveal. My team is this at the moment. It's not finalised. But yeah, go and check that out. Subscribe to the channel. If you do have questions, drop them in the comments on any of these, or message me over on Twitter. My DMs are always open for you guys to come and ask me questions, so go and do that. But I will be back again Friday before the next deadline stream, so come and join on Friday. When you subscribe, turn on notifications as well, so you get a little reminder when I go live or when I put a video up. I don't spam it, so you won't get loads, but just put one up. This will be the last stream before the game week. There won't be a deadline stream tomorrow, but there will be a one on Friday before game week 23. Thanks, Nuclear. Thanks, guys. Thanks for 3k subs as well. All of you in here. Probably the easiest way for me to say thank you. But yeah, appreciate you all subscribing, and I will see you all next time. Please like and subscribe before heading off. Have a good evening all, and good luck in game week 22.